Hi, my name's Fiona Hall and I play football for Sheffield Striders Walking Football Club and for England Walking Football Community. I'm here just to tell you a little bit about my involvement in football and hopefully to encourage people to take up the game if they haven't done so already. So I started off playing football probably in a similar way to many people of my age, playing on the park, the local park with friends and family, and playing on the school playground with mainly the boys. Back in those days there was no girls football team at school, just for boys, and girls were encouraged to play hockey, netball, rounders, but not really football. Locally there was no community football team. The nearest one was Doncaster Bells, which was just too far for us to travel to. So I didn't really play competitive football until I got to university, and even then that was kind of by accident because by then I was an established hockey player, and only really went into football because the hockey team got knocked out of their tournament early in my final year. So transferred to football, and we had a really good season, got to the semi-final of the Cup and did really well in some tournaments that were happening, travelled all over the country playing football and, almost being treated a bit like a football player, where we had coaches to games, meals after the game. We really felt part of a good setup. And I was lucky enough to get selected for the England University 11-a-side team. So I played one game for them, scored a goal, but I was at the end of my university life and off into the world of work. So I signed for Birmingham City, where I played for 2 years, and then signed for Barnsley, but got injured very early on in my days at Barnsley. And then really the combination of the injury and then getting married and having children, my football was done probably by the age of 28, 30 years old. So not that old really, but yeah, I didn't kick a ball again for a long time, which was a real shame, to be honest, because I probably shouldn't have left it as long as I did. But it's only probably 5 years ago that I came back into the sport. I spent an awful lot of time on the sidelines watching my daughter progress through the age groups and helping coach. But joined Sheffield Striders, it was a session then based at Sheffield United, and just really loved the game again. But I have to admit, going back to those sessions the first time, I was really apprehensive. I wasn't sure whether I'd fit in, whether I'd be good enough again, whether I could play, whether the injuries would hold up. So I had all those apprehensions that people have. But fortunately it went well, and we started, we all fitted in together, we made friends, and we started to enter competitions. And what was great about that was that there were some people who'd never had the chance to put on a team shirt and say that they represented a team. So we were entering six-a-side tournaments, and for those people who'd loved football all their lives but never had the chance to play, that was just probably one of the highlights for me of my whole involvement in football, was seeing the impact that made on them. In terms of Sheffield Striders, we always make a big thing about welcoming people, and we're not interested in their level of ability. We just want people to come and play for their own benefit, really. We understand that there are barriers. We understand that people have got difficult lives in terms of fitting things in. Commitments of family. So we try and make it as easy as possible. If people need to bring other halves, children, just to make it possible for them to play, then we will try and accommodate that. But we also understand barriers around, apprehension, fear, worrying about whether they're good enough. And, again, we just want people to take part. So, to reassure people, walking football is a game where the really sort of scary elements are being taken away. So no heading, no slide tackling, no running. That's a real leveler on the pitch, and it means that even a newcomer coming into a game can contribute and feel like they are involved. It's a small pitch, so people are going to be there. They're going to have contact with the ball early on and often. So it's a good place to learn how to play the game. So I think Sheffield Striders would be welcoming of new players from anywhere across Yorkshire, certainly South Yorkshire, but anybody who wants to travel and play with us. So if you are interested, do get in touch. We have a Twitter page and a Facebook page, and all the contact details are on there. So it's Sheffield Striders, and give it a go. It kind of reinvigorated my life, and I'm so pleased it's happened, and I'd certainly recommend it as a activity to get you up and active, feeling like you've done something worthwhile, and meeting new friends.